The battle was over. At least that's what the Empire believed. Thousands of Empire warships floated silently above Earth. Their commanders stood proud, watching the last human ships fall apart in the darkness of space. Fire and smoke spread across the broken hulls. No signals came from Earth, no resistance, nothing. Grand Admiral Threxus stood on the bridge of his flagship, arms crossed, a small smile on his face. For 1,000 years, the Empire had conquered planet after planet. But humans were different. They fought harder than any race before them. And now, after 3 long years of brutal war, humanity was finally silent. "Send the message to the Empire Council," Threxus said calmly. "Earth has fallen." Across the galaxy, Empire citizens celebrated. Streets filled with cheering crowds. Fireworks lit up alien skies. News channels repeated the same words again and again. Humanity is defeated. The war is over. But on the bridge, one young officer was not celebrating. Lieutenant Vera stared at her screen, frowning. Something was wrong. "Sir," she said quietly, "Earth is too quiet." Threxus turned, still smiling. "Because they are beaten, Lieutenant." "No, sir, I mean completely quiet. No survivors' signals, no distress calls, no looting, no chaos." She paused. "It's like the planet is waiting." Threxus laughed. "You worry too much. Humans are gone. Enjoy the victory." But Vera couldn't shake the feeling. She had studied humans for years. She knew their history, how they always found a way to survive no matter the odds. World wars, pandemics, climate disasters. Humans never simply gave up. Then, deep in Earth's atmosphere, something changed. A single signal appeared on the monitors, just for 1 second. Then it vanished. Vera's eyes widened. "Sir, did you see that?" Threxus frowned, walking toward her screen. "See what?" The signal was gone. No trace left behind. For a moment, silence filled the bridge. Then Threxus shook his head. "Sensor glitch. Nothing more." He turned back to the celebration screens, where thousands of Empire soldiers were dancing in victory parades. He smiled again, confident, proud, but far below, hidden beneath Earth's oceans and deep inside forgotten mountains, something massive was waking up. Machines that had been silent for decades slowly began to hum with power. And somewhere, in a control room no Empire scanner could detect, a single human voice spoke into a microphone. "Command received. Beginning Phase 2. The Empire thought the war was over. Humanity had just begun. 3 days passed since the victory announcement. The Empire fleet still floated above Earth, watching, waiting, doing nothing. Grand Admiral Threxus had ordered a full scan of the planet before sending ground troops down. He wanted to be careful, even if he didn't say it out loud. Lieutenant Vera had not slept properly since that strange signal appeared. She kept running scans again and again, searching for answers. Something about this victory felt wrong. Too easy. Too clean. "Sir, I've completed another deep scan," she said, walking up to Threxus. "The energy readings under Earth's crust are unusual." Threxus barely looked up. "Unusual? How?" "There are heat signatures in areas with no cities, no bases, no military presence on record. Places like the Pacific Ocean floor, the Himalayan mountains, even under the Antarctic ice." Threxus raised an eyebrow. "Volcanic activity, maybe?" "No, sir. The pattern is too regular, too organized." Vera pulled up a holographic map, showing dozens of glowing red points scattered across the planet. "It looks artificial." For the first time, doubt flickered in Threxus's eyes, but he quickly pushed it away. Humans were beaten. Their fleet was gone. Their cities were quiet. What could a defeated species possibly be hiding? "Send a scout team to the surface," he finally said. "Small unit, just to confirm the planet is secure." Vera nodded and gave the order. Hours later, a small Empire shuttle descended toward Earth's surface, landing near an abandoned human city. The streets were empty, buildings stood silent, some damaged from the war, but eerily still. The scout team walked carefully through the ruins, weapons ready. No movement, no sound, just wind blowing through broken windows. "Command, this is Scout 1, the team leader reported. Area appears abandoned. No hostiles detected." But as they moved deeper into the city, one soldier noticed something strange. A small camera, hidden inside a streetlight, blinked once, then went dark. "Did anyone else see that?" the soldier asked. No one answered. They kept moving. What they didn't know was that thousands of similar cameras were scattered across the planet, silently recording everything, watching, learning, sending information to a place no Empire scanner could ever find. Deep underground, in a massive hidden facility, dozens of human engineers worked around enormous machines. Screens displayed real-time footage from the Empire scout team walking through the city above. An older woman, hair streaked with gray, watched the screens carefully. Her name was Dr. Elena Reyes, one of the last remaining architects of Earth's secret defense program. "They're getting curious," she said quietly. A younger man beside her nodded. "Should we worry?" Elena shook her head, a small, tired smile forming on her face. "No, let them look. Let them wonder." She turned toward a massive control panel, where a countdown timer glowed softly in the darkness. 72 hours remaining. "They won't find anything," she said. "Not until we want them to." Above, on the Empire flagship, Threxy stared at Vera's report one more time, his confidence slowly cracking. "Increase patrols," he ordered. "Something isn't right." But it was already too late. 2 days had passed since the scout team's report. Empire patrols increased across Earth's surface, but they found nothing. No hidden soldiers, no secret weapons, just empty cities and quiet ruins. Grand Admiral Threxis grew impatient. "Lieutenant Vera, give me answers. What is under this planet?" Vera had spent every waking hour studying the strange energy signatures. Finally, she found something. A pattern buried deep in old Empire records, data collected years ago, before the war even began. "Sir," she said, voice shaking slightly, "I think I know what happened." She pulled up an old file, dated almost 30 years earlier. "Humans didn't just fight this war with the ships we saw. Look at this." The screen showed grainy footage of human scientists working on massive underground structures, long before the Empire ever arrived at Earth. "This is old," Threxis said, frowning. "Why does this matter now?" "Because I think humanity knew we were coming," Vera said. "Long before we attacked, they built something hidden, something we never saw." Threxis's face went pale. "That's impossible. Our scans showed their entire fleet. We destroyed it." "We destroyed a fleet," Vera corrected. "But what if it wasn't their real one?" Silence fell across the bridge. Meanwhile, deep beneath Earth's surface, Dr. Elena Reyes walked through a massive hangar. Around her, thousands of workers moved quickly, preparing something enormous. Rows of sleek, dark warships stretched as far as the eye could see, ships far more advanced than anything the Empire had ever encountered. A young engineer approached her. "Doctor, the fleet is at 98% readiness." Elena nodded slowly, looking up at the massive ships towering above her. 30 years, she whispered. 30 years of hiding, building, preparing, and sacrificing our own fleet just to make them believe they won. The engineer looked nervous. "Do you think it was worth it? All those lost ships, all those soldiers?" Elena's eyes hardened. "Every single loss brought us closer to this moment. The Empire believes we are broken. They believe humanity begs for mercy." She turned to face the fleet. They are about to learn the truth. Back on the Empire flagship, Threxis paced nervously. "If there's a hidden fleet, where is it? Our scanners see nothing." Vera hesitated before answering. "Because it isn't just hidden, sir. It's completely undetectable to our technology. This isn't old human tech anymore. This is something new, something we don't understand." Threxis clenched his fists. For the first time since the war began, real fear crept into his mind. Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. "Sir," Massive energy surge detected, coming from beneath the Pacific Ocean. Threxus's eyes widened. "Show me." The main screen flickered, revealing the ocean's surface bubbling violently. Then, slowly, an enormous shadow began rising from the depths. Vera's voice trembled. "Sir, I think Phase 2 has just begun." Deep underground, Elena Reyes stared at the countdown timer one final time. Ru. She smiled. "Command received," she said calmly into her microphone. "Launch the fleet." The ocean exploded. Massive waves rose hundreds of feet into the air as giant warships broke through the water's surface, one after another. Water poured off their dark metallic hulls as they rose silently into the sky, joining hundreds more launching from mountains, deserts, and forests across the planet. On the Empire flagship, Threxus stood frozen, staring at the screen in disbelief. That's not possible," he whispered. Vera's hands trembled as she read the sensor data. "Sir, I'm counting over 3,000 ships, and more are still rising." The Empire fleet, still celebrating their victory moments ago, scrambled into chaos. Alarms blared across every ship. Soldiers ran to battle stations. Commanders shouted orders into comms, trying to make sense of what was happening. Threxus grabbed the comm system. "All ships, red alert, prepare for—" He never finished the sentence. A beam of blue light shot from the nearest human warship, tearing through an Empire cruiser like paper. The massive ship split in half, exploding into a ball of fire before falling silently through space. "Impossible!" Threxus shouted. "Our shields can withstand—" Another explosion, then another. Empire ships began falling one after another, their weapons barely scratching the surface of the human fleet's advanced armor. Inside the human flagship, Dr. Elena Reyes watched calmly as the battle unfolded on massive screens. Around her, engineers and soldiers worked with practiced precision, as if they had trained for this exact moment for years. Because they had. "Status report," Elena said. A young commander responded. "Empire fleet is in full retreat formation, but our ships are cutting off their escape routes. Casualties minimal on our side." Elena nodded slowly. "Continue the assault. No mercy, no hesitation." Back on the Empire flagship, Threxus stared in horror as ship after ship vanished from his tactical display. This wasn't a battle anymore. It was a slaughter. "Sir, incoming message from Empire Council," an officer shouted. Threxus's voice shook as he answered. "This is Grand Admiral Threxus. We are facing unknown enemy forces, requesting immediate reinforcements." The response came back cold and sharp. "Explain yourself, Admiral. You reported Earth's fleet destroyed 3 days ago." Threxus had no answer, because there wasn't one that made sense. On the human flagship, Vera's report, now captured by human intelligence systems, echoed through the command center. Elena listened carefully, then turned to her team. "They still don't understand," she said quietly. "They think this is just another fleet." The young commander beside her frowned. "Should we tell them the truth?" Elena's eyes glowed with quiet determination as she watched the Empire's ships burning across the screen. "Not yet," she said. "Let them feel fear first. Understanding comes later." Outside, the human fleet moved forward like a wall of steel and fire, unstoppable, relentless, and just getting started. Threxus watched his once mighty fleet crumble before his eyes. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Empire truly understood what it meant to fear humanity. Within hours, news of the disaster spread across the entire Empire. Star systems that once celebrated victory now watched in horror as reports came in from Earth. Ships destroyed, fleets retreating, an enemy no one understood. The Empire Council convened an emergency session, their holographic forms flickering with anger and fear. "Send everything," one counselor demanded. "Every available warship, every soldier. Crush this rebellion before it spreads." Grand Admiral Threxus, still fighting for his life above Earth, received the order minutes later. Reinforcements were coming, thousands of additional warships from nearby systems, pulled from other conquered worlds to join the battle. Finally, Threxus muttered, gripping the edge of his command chair. Now we'll show them real power. 3 days later, the sky above Earth turned dark with Empire warships. An armada larger than anything humanity had faced before arrived, stretching across the horizon like a metal storm. Vera stared at the numbers on her screen, her face pale. Sir, we now outnumber the human fleet, 10-1. Threxus allowed himself a small, tired smile. Then let's finish this. The Empire launched everything they had. Wave after wave of warships surged forward, weapons blazing, missiles streaking through space like falling stars. But something strange happened. The human fleet didn't panic. They didn't retreat. Instead, they moved with calm, practiced precision, as if they had expected this exact moment.